I'm going to record. All right. Hi, guys. And I'm really, really excited to for this call to hear from some of our up-and-coming leaders. A lot of these coaches have started in the past couple months to a year to the last weeks or so, and they're doing really great things. So I can't wait for you to hear from them because they've all been where everybody is right now. We also have some of our top coaches on here. So what I kind of want to do is just go through the topics that the up-and-coming leaders are going to talk about. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in and we'll go over those. We can all share best practices, questions and answers, whatever works for you guys, because I want to make sure that you are set up for success and have the resources available to you to be successful. And these new leader coaches are taking it by the horns and moving right along. So I'm going to share my screen, and I just have a couple of announcements before they get started. I don't know if I can make anything work anymore. Okay, so real quick, Summit. This month is the month that people are going to come off the wait list. If you're on it, if you're not on it, please go get on it. Summit is like the Super Saturday times 100 million. It is the don't miss event of the year. It is where every coach has kind of like their aha moment. We hang out as a team. We stay together, we go out, we eat, we hang, everything's awesome, and it's a great chance to bond. So if you're serious about your business, you want to get to Summit if you can at all possibly do that. I know Lauren, the first year that she went, she had no money. She had to pay for her nanny to go, but she made it happen, and now we all saw her post where she's making $39,000 in 1 month. So I think it probably worked out for her. Just a reminder that we have the volume training that we're doing. And every Monday I post that video. A lot of people that have been paying attention to it are really enjoying it, so I really suggest checking it out. It kind of shows you how to build volume, and that in turn is going to be money in your pocket with what to do with new coaches and where to really focus your efforts. So we have our Q&A every Thursday night. It's very quick, so if nobody has questions, then we kind of move on. But if people have questions about anything in the business at all, I'm on there. Take advantage. The Glance into Coaching group is going right now. A lot of people are kind of commenting at night, which is cool. They probably were working during the day. Just make sure if you have coaches in that group that you're keeping in touch with them, privately in PMs, and just saying, hey, how's it going? Do you have any questions? Are you doing the exercises? Please comment. Just ask them to do it so that other people will, and then they will, and then other people will, and it'll be perfect. Julie tonight is going to talk about the 3 vital behaviors, but I do want to make the formal announcement that we now have 4. Recognition has been added to one of the vital behaviors. And, recognition is key, right? Everybody loves to be recognized for what they're doing well. So anytime you have a coach, a challenger, in your challenge groups, definitely recognize your challengers for doing awesome. Your coaches really recognize everything. First sale, first challenge group, all rank advancements, leadership ladders, whatever it is, make sure you're recognizing everything people do that's awesome because it makes people feel good. Country Heat is our new program coming out this summer, and it should be in the back office soon for you to try and on demand. But it's autumn and it's country line dancing, so it should be interesting. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to this week at some point. Starting April 7th, there's going to be a new coach cancellation form, and it's going to be online. So if any of your coaches decide to cancel, they're going to be able to do it online, and then you're going to get notified 24 hours before it happens. Recently, it's been right away, so that kind of gives you 24 hours to talk them out of it. Team call next Tuesday is going to be a live power hour we're going to do. I know that makes for a team call every week. But I really wanted to get that in, and then we have John, the guy from John Maxwell's team, the week after, which is the training that I'm doing about recruiting right now. And then Susie has so graciously decided to run a Push to Emerald group, and is going to invite everybody that is looking to push their business to the Emerald level, and that I think is going to be the 18th. Yes, sort of, maybe. But look for a notification from her. She will post it in Goal Diggers, and we'll go forward from there. So without further ado, let's have Cassandra, and Cassandra is going to talk to us about mindset.
All right, I am unmuted. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
My mic wasn't working yesterday, so,
Well, I'll have to log back off and get back on again.
Please don't. So I'm actually really happy to be doing mindset. This is my favorite topic ever. I am ridiculously good at it, and I wish I had actual secrets to share with you, but it's just the way I'm wired. So I'm going to sort of go over a few key points that really, really work for me. Number one is something we talk about all the time anyways. You want to be positive in all the things you do. We talk about attraction marketing. We want to attract people who are of similar mindset to what we are. As when you're being positive, you're going to get that positivity back. You definitely want to, avoid the confrontations. You want to try and put a positive spin on things. And you get some negative Nellies in challenge groups and whatnot. You want to put as positive a spin on that. You want to take somebody aside. Don't let it actually get you. Just turn it into a good thing. The second huge point, and I mean, it's vital behavior, personal development. It is 100% non-negotiable. This is what's going to develop your mindset. This is going to give you a new perspective on everything. If you're not growing in that way, your mindset is going to be stuck in a rut, and you're just, it's tough to keep moving forward. And the things, further to that, the things that you truly believe in, they're going to come into fruition. Again, it's that attraction. If you are going for it and you're believing in it, and your mindset's in that right place, it's all going to come back to you. Like attracts like. You're going to attract customers and coaches like you. So you want to be putting out there and having that mindset that everything that's similar to that is going to come back to you. So, I mean, I realize it's very repetitive. It's sort of the same thing, but it's a huge, huge, huge thing to have that positive mindset for everything. One of the things we talked about at Super Saturday in Calgary was that 9% of objections, even money objections, are actually provoked by how you approach it. Whether you are already thinking, this person's going to come back to me and they're going to say, I don't have the money. You're already putting that out there, even though you haven't said it to them. It's all about your mindset. So you have to go in going, I already have this sale. I already am going home with this challenge pack sale. And you're going to do way better and have a better response than if you go in saying, I don't think this is going to work. I'm actually really worried about it. They feel that even through text. It sounds ridiculous, but it actually is really, really real. One huge thing that I personally am really good at is compartmentalizing my business life and my home life. It's very difficult when you're on Facebook to not see Facebook as, these are my friends and this is my social life and we're all doing these things. But when you're working the business specifically, you need to sort of stop and treat it like, I'm in an office and I'm working this business, and when I stop working, then okay, that's my social life, and there's emotions and personal stuff that go along with that. But when you're working the business and somebody says no to you, you have to treat it as them saying no to your business, not to you personally. And I know that's a really, really tough thing to do, because it's so easy to take what somebody says and take it really to heart. But you sort of have to focus on, this is work. This conversation is about work. They say, no, I don't like that. You're like, okay, you go on, you change the subject, you talk about something else. Your friendship isn't broken. You still have that friendship. And that no is not forever. That's just that what you're offering, the solution that you're offering to them, does not fit into their life right now. So you talk to them a month from now, you talk to them 3 months from now, it could be a completely, completely different story. You just have to, take it as it goes and keep going as almost as if nothing happened. Like, the transaction transpired, what happened, but you don't put as much emphasis on it as if, you actually had like a knockout, drag-out argument with a friend. The big one for me personally that I'm actually working on a lot is comparing my successes now to my previous successes. And, being able to, we're talking about recognition, being able to recognize other people's successes without comparing myself to those successes. Because we have a lot of absolute rock stars on this team who are going out and they're making these sales and they're getting more coaches and they're growing their businesses, and it's amazing. And you have a month where maybe it's not so great, and you look at those people and it's tough to not go, man, I wish I was doing that well. But you are doing well just in your business. So you really have to, for me, this is my one key, like this is where my mindset comes from. I compare me to me. Same in fitness, the same in my business. So that's really my big thing right now. And there is one thing that I didn't include on this slide, that was said at Super Saturday as well. The ups and downs of your life and your business don't define you. It's how you come out the other side that's really the big thing. So you have to have that mindset of, yeah, maybe this is a bad week or a bad month or a great week or a great month. It's how you come out the other side of it that's going to make the real difference for you.
Sandra, that was awesome. It's like you're professional. You are good at mindset. Oh my God.
I'm so excited. Nobody
I
touched
took
it.
like a whole page of notes, and I have some questions. Because mindset is something that I struggle with daily. I had a rough day with the mindset today. And so that compartmentalizing thing is awesome. That is really like genius. Like when you sit down, you're working, and then you walk away and they're your friends again, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And then I really, really like that. So I don't know if we should do questions. What do you guys think? Like after each topic, or should we wait till the end and then do it all at once?
I think we should ask at the end of each topic so we don't forget.
Okay, then let's unshare and we'll ask Cassandra whatever questions we have. Just unmute yourself. So I have a question, Cassandra.
Okay.
And if I'm putting you on the spot and you don't know the answer, just tell me and we'll brainstorm.
Okay.
But so in this business, they say that you need to share like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is something that I really struggle with, is sharing like the not so perfect stuff. So how do you take like when you're just having a terrible day and share stuff and make it positive? You know what I mean?
For me, my number one thing is I don't post in the heat of the moment, because if I try and post in the heat of the moment, it's just going to be a hot mess, and there's no positivity to be found. So I let myself cool down and distance myself from it, and then sort of flip it. Like, what's the silver lining to this? It's a challenge. Like, it really is a mental challenge, but it helps develop your mindset as well to be able to really reflect on it.
That's smart, because that's what I don't do. I just spit out everything as soon as it pops in my head. Does anyone else have a question for Cassandra on mindset?
Is it sort of like waffles? You know, the little compartments in a waffle where you set aside your thoughts here on your business and then you focus later on your home life or your personal life.
Yeah,
that's very much like waffles.
I'm terrible at waffles. I'm more like spaghetti, where we're all intertwined.
All right, we'll just go on to the next one, and then if anybody has questions more at the end, we will just catch up then in case anybody thinks of something else along the way, because a lot of these all kind of go together. So next up is Julie, and like I said, there is a fourth vital behavior that is recognition. So add that to your list of vital behaviors. Go ahead, Julie, and tell me when to change the slide.
All right. Hi, guys. So, Brooke, I have to admit, when you asked me to do the 3 vital behaviors, I got so shocked for a second, so scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are the 3 vital behaviors? I have to look this up. I'm so embarrassed. I should know this.
And I'm guessing that's pretty relatable to some people on this call, so I'm not.
So as I was writing these slides, I basically wrote them for me because I feel like I need them just as much as everybody else on this call, because I need to get better at these behaviors. And first of all, I need to know exactly what they are. So of course, it's inviting. Invite, be proof of the product, and personal development. And now we have a fourth one of recognition, which I actually love because I think it's like a whole different strategy behind all of this. But I just put a little quote at the bottom that says, success seems to be connected with action. Oh, can you go back for me one sec? Yeah. Success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. And I just feel like that's kind of Beachbody in a nutshell for us. We have to act in order to succeed. We can't just sit back and make money and change lives by doing nothing. And we keep moving and we make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. I know everyone else makes mistakes and we don't quit. So I just love that little quote to get started. But if you want to jump to the next slide. So the first slide is about, we say invite. And for me, I think because it didn't resonate as well at the beginning, because it just seemed, oh, It just seemed extremely salesy. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I know I need to invite people. I know I need to get more people in my network, but it just seemed like such a really big, daunting task. And I said it to Kristen, my coach, a lot. I said, what happens when my Facebook friends run out? What happens to my business when I've talked to everybody that I've talked to? And so what I wanted to do was I kind of twisted the words, and I wrote, invite, inspire, invite, educate, and invite, be genuine. Friend request new people every day on Facebook, but also think outside of the box. So think outside of your friend network. Think about kind of like what Cassandra said. This is, when you decide to do this business, it's your business now. So your Facebook friends are your business. They're your customers. They're your future leads. They're your, hopefully, people that are recommending you. So you have to really, really treat it like that. And constantly think outside of the box. Like when you talk to your hairdresser, make sure that you're inviting them. When you talk to, the people at the pet salon, or wherever you go, whenever you talk to people. The woman that spoke on Brooke's call a week or two ago, I listened to the recording, the unique sales rep, I forget her name. But she basically I listened to her video in the car on the way home at really late at night from Delaware last week. And she just blew my mind with how you should be talking to everybody and anybody about this. The next morning I went and talked to the person at Dunkin' Donuts when I was in line for coffee, because I was just so inspired by her. So we need to keep inviting in order to keep inspiring new people on our journey and our purpose. I think another huge thing is messaging and inviting individually about your challenge groups and about Beachbody and about the programs, educating people on what Beachbody is, or what the 21-day fix is, or what Shakeology is, and what the benefits are and what the costs are. Because I feel like even though we post about it, we know so much about it, but people who are following us kind of know what we're doing, but they might not really understand exactly what we need them to do by clicking on our link and ordering through us. I talked to a woman the other day who's watched me post for 6 months now, and she saw a Beachbody infomercial, and she said she called Beachbody right away because I inspired her to do that. And I'm like, oh shoot, no, I need to inspire her to go through my link to do that. So I feel like educating is a huge piece of the invitation process, and reaching out individually to people. And then the last one was just, be genuine. I think we've all learned, and we've all seen through different friends and colleagues that do all these marketing businesses, is sort of like the wrong way, the pushy way, the more salesy way to do things. And with Beachbody, we have such an opportunity to be genuine, because we're essentially sharing our journey, whether it's weight loss, nutrition, getting in better shape. Like, we're able to be a lot more genuine than I think some of the other companies out there, because we're selling something that truly makes people feel better and look better, and we're essentially being the product of the product. So inviting was really scary for me, and it felt a little overwhelming when I thought that I just had to spend all my time inviting people on Facebook. But when I really started to break it down, and think about all the different ways you can invite people and all the different ways you can invite people to your challenge groups, it made it a little bit less overwhelming for me. And I'm still working on the invite process, because I feel like I haven't gotten even close to where I want to be. So I kind of wrote this slide, like I said, for myself. I saw these two little quotes that I loved. Invite because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And if you want something you've never had, then you've got to give something you've never done. So if you want to go to the next slide for me, Brooke. And being proof of the product, I mean, this to me is our sort of bread and butter of what we do. I don't know if anyone else has been there, but I know I've been there when I've sort of decided to slack off for a day or two in my challenge group that I'm running, and I might be sitting on the couch and I'm posting something, and I just feel like such a hypocrite. like, oh my gosh, like I'm here motivating everybody and I've decided to slack off for the day. And I feel terrible. I'm like, no, I have to be a proof of the product. Like this is what I'm doing. This is why I have people following me. And so I wanted to put the little practice what you preach or change your speech up, because if we are not the proof of the product, then I really don't necessarily think that we're the right fit for this whole business. And so I really think it can be the number one reason why you succeed or why you fail. Because when I wake up in the morning and I work out and I have an awesome breakfast and I, get my day started, and as Brooke says, like tighten my ponytail up and get ready for the day, I just feel so excited and empowered. But when I wake up and I end up like not working out, or I end up having something crappy for breakfast, it just sets me off on the wrong foot. And then I don't feel like I should be empowering myself or other people. So, just sharing your journey, being consistent. We all have off days, but I think if you have too many off days, it's where you get into a little bit of trouble. And it's the most powerful way to ensure your customers and your leads that these programs work. Nobody, I think I accidentally didn't finish my slide here, but nobody wants to see something that doesn't work. You have to convince people sometimes to spend the money on Shakeology because it's expensive. You have to convince people to get off the couch and choose us over going to the gym because it's the easier thing to do in their minds. So, being consistent and proving to everybody how awesome these products are is I think, a huge reason why everyone succeeds as a Beachbody coach. And then one thing too that I've really started to wrap my head around is when I get a little overwhelmed on thinking about what I need to do for my Beachbody business, working full time, being a mom, we all have these reasons why we're too busy. But when you sort of break it down and you look at it, include your workouts as part of your business hours. So I try to, if I say I'm working the business an hour a day, 30 of that is my workout. And try not to separate that because this is all connected. And the working out portion is just as important in my mind as reaching out and inviting people, because if you're not doing both, then you're not going to succeed. So look at it as a whole and not separate. And I was kind of doing that recently. And now that I look at it as more of the whole package, it seems a little less daunting to me to kind of work the business every day. And then the last slide is personal development. I think this is probably where I need to step it up a notch. I wrote this little thing, keep calm and be a sponge, because I feel like you just have to get into everything. Like I remember asking Brooke and Kristen when I first started, like, how do you guys know all this stuff? How do you know what to do in your back office? How do you know what to say to people? And they both were like, you just have to just do it. You just figure it out. You learn along the way. You call customer service 100 times. You ask questions. You ask your friends. You listen to podcasts. You learn from others. You follow others. You listen to the national wake-up calls. You get on as many team calls as you can, and really just be a sponge. And I've started to reach out to some other team members to see if I can join some of their groups every now and then, just to make sure that I'm not getting stale in my groups, and seeing what they're posting and seeing what pictures they're posting, and just following people that you kind of learn along the way, or sort of the big wigs in the Beachbody business, and just seeing what they post and seeing what pictures they post and seeing what they talk about, and just kind of learning from everybody and what makes people successful. I will say that listening to recordings, I've been listening to a couple of recordings over the past couple of weeks of like old wake-up calls, as well as the link, Brooke, that you shared the other day of that guy, John, I forget his name, Jack or John. I listened to him. I was supposed to be working, and I listened to him instead. And I was on 2 calls at once, and I just zoned out of work because I was so enamored by what he was saying. So I'm not really a book person right now. I wish I had time to read, but I just don't right now at the moment. But listening to podcasts and listening to old calls is helping me tremendously. And so I definitely suggest, personal development doesn't just mean you should read books, or it doesn't just mean you should do one thing. There's lots of different ways that you can develop yourself and find out what sort of motivates you, and get after it, and listen, just be a sponge and learn from your mistakes, and figure out what kind of motivates you as far as the personal development is concerned. And that's it.
Awesome. You guys are all professionals. No, that was really, really good. And one thing I have to add, because a lot of new coaches are always wondering what to post about. And like Julie said, if you're being a product of the product and you're doing these things every day, it's easier to find material to add value to people's lives as well, because you're living the lifestyle. So it makes it much easier if you're doing the stuff. Because like she said, if you wake up and you have McDonald's in the morning and then you go out that night and you're hungover the next day, like you're just not feeling good, and it's really hard to inspire people. All right, next up is Heather. Heather is our Success Club all-star.
I had to unmute myself. Okay, so what is Success Club and why is it important? Success Club is a measure of how well you're doing in your business and how many lives you're changing. There was a call that I think it with Carrie. I can't remember what call it was, but someone was saying that instead of calling it Success Club in their group, they're calling it the 3 lives group, the 3 lives that you changed in a month. And I thought that was really awesome, because when you start thinking about Success Club as points, like I have done in the past, I'm a very competitive person, so the more points I get, the more happy I am. But when you start thinking about what these points mean, each point is a life that you're changing. So Success Club 5 is essentially helping 3 people. Scott Hobbs, the 3 Lives Club. Yeah, there you go. That's who it was. And he's speaking at Summit. I'm excited. So, okay. So how do you hit Success Club? So like I said, you aim to help 3 people a month. You get 2 points for a challenge pack, and you get 1 point for Shakeology Home Direct. So I find it a lot easier to just go for that 2 points, to go for the challenge pack. Very rarely do I just sell Shakeology by itself, because there's always a challenge pack that's $140. So there's always a challenge pack that's only $10 more, and you've got a complete program. So for me, Success Club 6 is what I at least aim for that every month. And my 3 lives that I'm helping with the complete package, the whole challenge pack. Let's see. So how do you help? Sorry, this slide looks a little bit different than the one that I did. So how do you hit Success Club? Hitting Success Club is basically doing the 3 vital behaviors every day, being consistent with them, doing them every single day. I know we've touched on those, so I'll go over what each one of them are because we just went over them. But literally, you have to do these every single day. They're called vital for a reason. They're vital to our business. They're vital to our behaviors. Like, this is just something that has to be done every single day. In addition to that, you need to be making new friends every single day. And the way that I found the best, there's 2 ways actually that I found that are pretty easy to make new friends. One is to join groups on Facebook. And when you're joining these groups, actually join groups of things that you genuinely are interested in. If you're interested in motorcycles, you're a Harley mama, join a Harley group and talk to other people that have the same interests as you do. And when you start a conversation on a post with someone, take it off into a private message, and it's not just about adding new friends to Facebook. It's about actually making new friends. You guys have no idea how many people you can reconnect with from elementary school or high school, or just new people that you'll meet. In the process of the last year, I've met 2 authors. One of them I went to high school with. They both write romance novels, which I think is awesome. I've met a radio personality. Like, these are just really cool things. Like, I'm actually making new friends every day, not just adding them to my friends list. And then the other way that I started making new friends is I'll go to one of my friends' pages and look through their friends list and look for people that are not my friends, but we have 9 or more mutual friends together. And I will just click add friend, add friend, add friend. When they accept my friend request, then I send them a message and say, you know, hey, we have several mutual friends in common. Facebook thinks that we should be friends too, with a little smiley face. They usually think that's funny or cute, and they'll respond back, and then you start the conversation from there. It's worked for me like 90% of the time. It's pretty cool. And then the last way I feel is really awesome for hitting Success Club every month is to find yourself a success partner. Brooke mentioned it at the beginning of this call. You know, find somebody that, sorry, I like to read the comments as they come across. You know, find somebody that's relatable to you, you know, somebody else in the, within Goal Diggers, maybe not someone that's in your same like downline, but maybe someone on your upline that you really connect with. Someone that you can compete with. You know, if they're getting Success Club 10 every month and you're getting like Success Club 6 every month, then, you know, have a little competition between the two of you, like just, you know, a friendly competition. Someone that you can like bounce ideas off of, and it just really helps, you know, and also like having a success partner really helps keep your mindset. I know that there's been times where I've had a bad day and my success partner, you know, picks me up, and then, you know, that goes back to the vital behaviors. You know, we've got to be consistent with our mindset and our vital behaviors, and everything just falls into place. Everything goes back to those vital behaviors. And now that recognition is added, that's my favorite. So I'm glad that that one was added. And that's all that I have.
Awesome. Everybody loves your little phrase. I think we're all going to be printing everybody on Facebook tomorrow. Facebook told us we should be friends. All right. Hadley, challenge groups.
Okay, you guys will have to pardon me because my allergies are killing me and I just started like sneezing and coughing again. So I was really excited to talk about challenge groups because that is the thing that sort of hooked me. I'd been sort of considering the coaching thing for a long time, and I had talked to Brooke about it, but I didn't really understand what it was all about. And it was the month that I did Brooke's challenge group because I needed to kind of get back on track and whatever, and started the group. And I think it was like 4 days in, I was like, yes, I want to do this. Now I get it. This is great. So I'm on my 3rd challenge group that I'm running so far. And it's like hands down my favorite part because that's where I feel like I'm really seeing the benefit. It's really helping people. They're getting a lot out of it. And that's great. That's exactly what I wanted to be doing. So I feel like there's parts of it that I might be doing a little bit differently. I'm not sure yet. I'm still kind of working out the kinks, but so far it's going really well. So I was excited to kind of share a little bit about what I've figured out so far. So the first thing that I sort of tackled or had to figure out on the fly with the first month, I think I signed up as a coach, and then 2 weeks later, I was starting my own group because I really wanted to dive in with that. I didn't want to wait. I was really excited about the challenge groups. So I was sort of figuring it out as I went for the first month. But really taking the time to understand your challengers before you add them, really help them find the right program, understand what their goals are. Again, so it's not like you're just trying to make a sale. You're really trying to help this person, and you want to understand what they're looking for, what they're going for, what their challenges are. Before you start with them. And then really starting to post a week before, and that's been working really well for me, I have to say. because I've had a lot of people that, decided they were going to start in April or decided they were going to start in March, and they were really excited to get going. And if I signed them up earlier the month before, they were kind of antsy. So really starting to post a week out to get them excited, to get them ready, start telling them what they need to do, sharing meal plans and grocery lists and things like that. And everybody has really seemed to like that. One thing that I've been doing a little bit differently, and I'm not sure what others do here, all of the groups that I have run so far have been groups where it's sort of a combination. People are doing all different workout programs. So it's not like a 22-minute hardcore group and everybody is doing that. So I haven't utilized the challenge group tools in the back office quite as much. I have gone in and I've looked at all of them, and I've definitely pulled things from each of them and I've used them on different days, but I've come up with a lot of stuff on my own. And one of the things that I think is working is that even the slides and suggestions that I've taken from the back office, I've personalized them, right? Some of that stuff to me comes across as a little bit salesy in those guides. Maybe not, but that's just the way some of it struck me. They already bought something from me, and that's not why I have them in my group to sell them more. I'm trying to help them meet their goals. I'm trying to help them through the group. So I just want to make sure that people aren't getting the sense that, now they're in this group and I'm really just trying to push more products. So I've really been personalizing what I put out there every day. And it seems to be working. Be consistent, but don't be a robot, right? Buffer is great. I haven't really used it much yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I've decided, like, when I reach a certain point, I'll invest in doing that, but I'm not letting myself do it yet. But at the same time, don't be a robot. Don't just rely on that and not really be present with the group, right? I think it's great if you're on vacation or you're just trying to, I think there's really good ways to use it, but just make sure that you're present, you're being personable, because I think that the challenges really respond to that. Along the same lines, comment and respond to comments frequently. People really notice when you're active and you're cheering them on. And I've had people, I'll go through at night and all of the comments on my main post for the day, and I'll respond to every single one of them with something personal to whatever they mentioned, whatever they brought up, whatever issues they're having. And that really makes a difference. I think people enjoy that. And then in addition to your coaching posts, what I do is I post my main post in the morning, like 7 a.m. after I do my workout, whatever. But then for the rest of the day, I'm a challenger, right? So I'm checking in. If I've asked people to give me, what their 3 sacrifices for the month are going to be. After I've done that main post, I'm then commenting and I'm doing the same thing myself, being that challenger, checking in, sweaty selfies and sharing a picture of my lunch, my Shakeology picture, whatever it is. Recognition, we talked about that as being one of the 4 vital behaviors now, and I think that it's really helpful in the challenge groups also. I've sort of customized as I went. In my first group, I realized that people didn't like the points. And I think it was just sort of the audience that I had, and I was kind of adjusting on the fly when I realized that. But they didn't like feeling like they were competing, and it was turning a few people off. And I kind of got a feel for that, and so I adjusted. I just eliminated it. We stopped keeping track of points, didn't worry about it. And instead, I started picking like a challenger of the week. So every Sunday night, I was posting a picture of someone, like we do on our Goal Diggers page, and saying, this person has been a rock star this week. They've done their workouts every day. They've been checking in. They've been eating great. They've been sharing recipes, whatever. And I give them a prize, right? I've given out some Fix8 cookbooks, some Shaco samples. I'm looking for some more ideas, but they seem to really like that. And the people that get recognized that week are so excited. And I have to tell you, I'm also a little bit strategic about it, right? I have somebody who was in my last group who was doing really well. I thought she needed a little bit of an extra push. I also thought that she would be a really good coach. So I wanted to give her that recognition. Well, right now she's in the What is Coaching group. So, things like that work. Find a system that works for you and your challengers. Don't be afraid to customize. That's kind of like what I said before, adjusting on the fly. You'll sort of get a feel for what's working and what isn't working in your group, and don't be afraid to change it. Be creative. Try new things. I know a bunch of people, we had talked about on a call last month, the plank contest, and so many people did that, and it was so fun seeing all those pictures. I tried it last month, and my challengers, it didn't really work out. I only got like 2 plank pictures, but I'm going to try it again. I've been doing like every day on Thursday, because I've been doing hammer and chisel, and Thursday is my day off. So I was making and sending everybody on my day off a bonus workout video that they could do, like a little, like one was a plank routine and one was a squat routine, that they could do like while they were watching commercials or while they were, their kids were in the bath or something like that. And everybody loved it. I have people from the first month who keep messaging me that they're still doing my bonus workout when they didn't have time to fit a workout in. And check in with challengers that aren't participating, right? If you see somebody's kind of fallen off, message them or email them, whatever, and find out what's wrong, find out if everything is okay, if they need help, or they need an extra push to kind of get back into it. And sometimes that makes all the difference. And follow up, ask for referrals. I've been posting once a month in my post for the day, telling everybody that I'll give a prize anybody that gets a friend to sign up for the next month. Excuse me. And that's been working really well. My first challenge group that first month had 13 people in it. And this month I'm at like 34. Not all of them are active, and I was kind of on the fence about whether that was going to be too big or not, but it's kind of working out. So that's kind of it. The only other thing that I feel like you have to sort of make a decision on as you go, and it has worked for me so far, but the first month that I started my challenge group, I was kind of on the fence because I had several people when I put out my I'm a coach post, and I got a lot of good response to it and a lot of people that signed up for my first challenge group. But I also had people coming out of the woodwork and telling me sort of all about their issues with food and their issues with nutrition and exercise. And I could really relate to that because, I love exercise. I've never had a problem with that, but I've always struggled with food. And so I had a lot of people that said, I have the whole exercise thing down. I don't want to do a program, but I could really use the nutrition support. And I made a decision that first month to let in a significant handful of people who were not going to buy a Beachbody program from me, but they wanted that push for the nutrition. And I wasn't sure if it was the right thing to do or not. I kind of hemmed and hawed, but I decided to do it because I thought it would be a good way to sort of build credibility as I was just getting going with this. And I have to tell you that it was a great move. I'm letting in fewer and fewer of those people, but I still have a couple this month, and I still have some of those same people from my first month that have stuck with me, and they're loving it. They didn't buy a program that first month, but one of them has since bought a challenge pack and started doing hammer and chisel. 2 of those people are in the What is Coaching group right now. Several are talking about starting Shakeology. It's really worked out, and I feel like it did make a difference in building that credibility and sort of bringing people along with me. They saw that I was serious about this, that the challenge groups were really helpful, and then they also saw everybody talking about their shakes. They saw everybody comparing notes on the workout programs, and one of those people that didn't buy a program from me initially is doing the 3-day refresh right now. And so, long term, I don't know. I'll have to sort of see how it goes. But as I was starting out, it's ended up being a really good move, and it's been working so far. I think that is everything I had. The second slide is really, if you go to that, Brooke, was really just a screen capture to show everybody, if you don't know, where the challenge group tools are in the back office. If you go under sales and marketing, challenge group tools, and you can literally pick any of the programs, and it'll give you this day by day guide for what you can post. So I think it's awesome if you're doing a program specific challenge group, you could really go in there and just pull everything and customize it a little bit as you go. And like I said, I went into like PIO and Insanity and 21 Day Fix, and I went into all of the ones that if somebody in my group was doing that workout, I went into that one and I pulled at least a couple days worth of material from it. And then I just sort of personalized it and made it my own and kind of geared it towards my audience. But there's a lot of really good stuff out there. It's very useful. So I think that's it for challenge groups.
That was really, really good. Also, you guys are like teaching me so much stuff. And that a lot of people get in here and they're really scared to run challenge groups. And Hadley, like she said, the first week she was a coach, she's like, well, I'm running a challenge group. And I was like, okay, let me know if you need anything. But I love the way that you're so flexible and just go with what your challengers need. I no problem adding people that aren't challenge group people to the groups in the beginning. I used to do the same thing just to build the credibility too, you know. So because your job as a coach, it might be just to have somebody walk around the block every night. You know, it's not always doing a program. It's really to help people. So I think that's awesome, and I love your bonus video idea. I might try doing that myself.
Yeah, I mean, they're not pretty, and I warn people, you know, but
who cares? It gives them
fun.
something
It
to
gives
do.
them something to.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a question
Sure.
to Hadley? So when do you post about your next group? Because I don't want my current group to feel like I'm already thinking about the next thing and leaving them. So when do you post about that? And do you post about it in your group and on Facebook? How do you do that?
You know what? I struggled with that a little bit because I was like, geez, it was like first week of my first group, and you know, we already have to start looking ahead. And so I did it, but I kind of told my group I was going to do it. And I literally said just that in one of my comments that day. I said, guys, I know this sounds crazy because we just started and our group is amazing, but as nutty as it sounds, I have to start thinking about next month. It might be too early for you to decide, but if any of you want to, you know, keep going with me next month, I would love to have you. You're going to notice in the next day or so that I'll probably post something about next month, so don't be surprised. You know, just kind of like warned them it was coming so they didn't think, oh my gosh, she's already done with us. It's like 5 days in. And then when I post it, I share it to my challenge group and say, hey, if you guys want to keep going with me, go over to my timeline, comment there to let me know. And then that also gets traffic going on your call to action post. And your challengers sort of feel like they have the in. And it hasn't been an issue so far.
Okay.
And Hadley, you said you do that, you really do that the first week of your group?
I think I did my first month because I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just like, I thought the first month I thought my call to action post was like the only way I was going to get challengers. And because it worked the first month, I got so much, you know, traffic from my very first, like, I'm a coach post. I like filled my first challenge group from that. So I was like, oh geez, I have to start doing this right away. I've been doing it like 2 weeks into the month probably. But meanwhile, I'm also like, I'm relying less and less on the call to action posts. I'm finding that I really don't get much response on those. It's the inviting and the messaging. That's where I'm getting people now, and referrals from other people in the group. So
Awesome.
I think I just want to say thank you so much to that, because I feel like a lot of our people that we get, like, that are in our challenge groups and maybe even love it, but like after week 2, after day 14, there's that third week, and you have people that are like, some have, you know, a bad day or a bad week, or, you know, it's just life happens, I guess, you know, because the luster wears off of like new month, new challenge group type of thing. And I feel like talking to them in the second week, even like during the weekend or something, the Sunday or Monday of the third week, getting them excited for the next week and like that refresher of a challenge group. Thank you so much. That's like, you're awesome.
thanks.
All right, let's do the last one, and then of course we'll do question and answers at the end. So if you have more questions for Hadley, just hang on tight. All right, Courtney. Courtney.
Oh, forgot to unmute myself.
I was like, is Courtney there?
Here. All right, so reasons to go Emerald. From 5 to 1, what I think. The first one is it's your first real gem title. And it kind of goes along with vital behavior number 4 of recognition. You see everybody posting, you know, those that sell Rodan and Fields, they're everywhere. Those that sell all sorts of other stuff is everywhere. You hit Emerald and boom, there's this big post like, look at what this girl's done. Look at how great this person is. And people see that you are moving. So I think the title has a lot to do with it. Number 4, you get free leads. Once you hit Emerald, once you hit at least Success Club 5 and you have all of your bio filled out, you get free leads from the previous month. Sometimes they don't turn into much. Sometimes they turn into customers. I've had one person tell me basically, go away, don't ever talk to me again. And then she turned around and bought 2 bags of Shakeology from me. And I was like, oh, well, that was easy. And I've had a couple other people that have joined my challenge groups and they're really doing well. So it's hit or miss, but those free leads are really good to have. Number 3, you have customers who really trust you. And what I mean by that is my coaches. I feel like they're watching me move. They're watching my business move and they're watching me thinking, well, if she can do it, I can do it. Right? It's not just some person that I don't know and I'm watching this happen. This is somebody that I know, somebody that I'm working with who is showing me the way that this is possible. Number 2, you get team cycle bonuses. So every time your volume hits 200 in your strong leg, 100 in your weak leg, you start getting those cycle bonuses. At Emerald, it's $14 a cycle. And those definitely start to add up once you get a couple every week. And the biggest thing about going Emerald is it's a huge step in moving your business forward. You now have legs, you have coaches under you, you're creating volume, and that's what's going to move your business. So if you're not Emerald, go Emerald.
Awesome. Yeah, so true. All right, I will stop the share and then people can just ask questions. So just unmute yourself and just ask whoever you want, anything you have. Hadley, do you save your templates that you use in your challenge groups? Oh, you're on mute, sorry.
I do. I have it like all in a Word document. I'd be happy to share it. In fact, some of it I took from your group, the first group, January, whatever it was that I was in from you, and I've just built on it and I just keep adding every month. And now I've got to where I've got like, you know, I'm trying to keep it different because I have a lot of people that have stuck with me for a couple months and I'm like, now I got to change things up. But yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you could share it. And for anyone that wants to take some time and either do it yourself or work with anybody else to come up with, you know, 21 or 30 days worth of posts, and we can all kind of share them so that we can all use them and we don't have to spend so much time creating material, that would really be helpful. Nikki?
I was gonna say that is, this kind of goes right with that, Brooke. If we could maybe have like a list, because I know a lot of the top, it was just on a wake-up call that somebody said that she basically started to make a list of all the things that she was Googling and all the things she was looking up because she was interested in them or she had questions about them. And then she started sharing them with her challengers and then eventually on Facebook. But if we could come up with like a list of maybe what like Hadley is like deemed like her challengers think is important and vital and adds value to their group and gets a lot of participation and feedback kind of thing.
Right.
Those videos. You wouldn't mind, like, because you said they're not cute, but they I feel like that makes them more genuine and people trust you more because you're just putting it out there like, this is just what I do. Like, here you go, kind of thing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. And also, like she said, how she says she shares it into her group when she posts on her timeline. And it's a great way to get momentum going on your post, like she said, and just use that as like your RSVP for wherever you post it.
I know.
Who is that? This is
I know I have a lot of people that are not
technically difficult. Okay.
then, and when I share stuff, like they don't know they have to click on the shared thing. Like I get a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments in my actual challenge group on the post, but not on the post. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I tell people, I'm like, can you take that comment and go put it on my
So do I. Yeah, I'll comment back to them and be like, I have this posted so many places I can only keep up with it in one. So you need to RSVP on my timeline.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Because
perfect.
if you're posting it like 2 weeks in advance, you need to go back to one place to get the list of people going in it.
Yeah.
What else? Any other questions for anybody?
I have a question. I have a question for Hadley. For the people that you let in your group that didn't buy a challenge pack, I've had a couple people ask me if they could like take a peek without buying anything. Did you give them any like eating plans, or did you, I mean, how did they get involved?
So this is what I told them. I sort of explained how the group worked. I said, you know, I basically managed the nutrition component, like basically following the 21-day fix structure, right? And I just say it's clean eating. It's like, it's just about eating the right amounts of the right foods. So if you want to use the meal plans I'm providing for everybody, you can. And I put sort of all of those tools out there in my files, like the meal plans and a bunch of recipes. And then some of the same documents that Brooke shared on the group page the other day, like the calorie calculator and stuff like that. But I tell them if they're going to be in the group and they're going to do their own exercise, I make them come up with a plan, right? I explain, you know, everybody that's doing one of the programs is working off of a calendar that's telling them what to work out to do every day, and then they have their plan, their meal plan and all of that. But I tell them to come up with a plan too. So if it's like, I'm going to run 6 miles and then I'm going to do body pump tomorrow, write that on a calendar so you can hold yourself to it and you have to stick to it. And I just tell them, you know, just that I can't guarantee them results. Like if they're doing 21-day fix and they're following the meal plan and they're following the workout plan, you can basically guarantee that they're going to see results. But if I don't really know what workouts you're doing your own thing, I can't guarantee it. But if you just want that support on the nutrition, to have to like tell somebody that you ate that extra chocolate bunny, then great, you can do it. And it's, like I said, it's worked out well.
And you gave them like the formula for how, like containers, or no?
Yeah, I give them the container info. I say, this is what we're working off of, right? This is like what, you know, because you're going to see everybody talking about their containers in the group. And I give them the equivalents. And I say, if you want to manage this, that's fine. And some of them have done it differently. Some have like totally followed the meal plan. And some are just trying to like cut back on extra snacks and extra wine and all of that. But it's
Chris, I make everybody have a Beachbody account with me as their coach, whether they're doing a Beachbody program or not. And I tell them that if they're not doing a Beachbody program, that we're following the 21-day fix meal plan, regardless of what workout they're doing. But so the whole program is loosely based on the 21-day fix. Even though I'm doing hammer and chisel, somebody else might be doing 22-minute hardcore, and another group is doing 21-day fix, the actual fix. The meal plan we're following is from 21-day fix. So that's, you know, they know that going into it. And yeah, I do post all the, you know, the container equivalents and the food lists and calculation, weight calculation and all that in there for them. But so they almost have to follow along with it.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. And that was a good point too. I do make all those people, like I'll put their email in the mobile coaching app thing and tell them that they're welcome to do it, but I need to have them in my system as a customer. And
You know what I think is really good?
Thank you.
I can't hear Nikki. Are you talking?
Yeah, Nikki. You're not muted, so it must be something on your computer. Type it in the chat. I'm not sure what the technical difficulties are. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you for your patience. That was really good for all of the presenters. Thank you so much for doing that. You guys have figured it out. Top coaches say if it's Googleable, they will share. Nikki just posted top coaches say if it's Googleable, they will share it. And those, Nikki, I just put a bunch of the ones that I share in my group in Goal Diggers this past week. And you know, I also use the 21-day fixed eating plan when I do a clean eating group. Because I can't do a clean eating plan, I have to have options. Anyone else? Any questions? Well, thank you so much, everybody. Well, did somebody have one? No? Okay. That was awesome, and I love hearing from so many people. You guys are really, really doing great. So if anybody has any questions, you know where to find everybody. And have a great week, and we'll see you next week for Power Hour. And get on the Summit wait list if you're not already.
Thanks, Rock.
Bye. Thank you.